It's a bird. It's a plane. Is that Superman we see in the sky, Fortenberry?
No, it's
what is it?
It's Biden's favorite thing is balloons.
Oh, my gosh, it's balloons. Why are there balloons in the sky? We're going to tell you that and more today here on The Patio. Welcome to The Patio.
I saw a man rob a bank when I was 10. No, I didn't see the wrong kind. I wish that I was him. I grew up. Thought was living in my head. Figured the life that I was living, I'd be better off dead.
Hey, welcome to The Patio, brothers and sisters of The Patio, the Pationians, right, Gary? You coined that phrase, Pationians.
Yep. What
a week we have had. If you're watching this on YouTube, down in that bottom right-hand corner, you probably see a face that some of you probably know because only our friends are watching, so I hope they would know him. But if you're out there and don't know, we got a guest in studio. DW is out traveling with volleyball. You know, he's talked about that quite a bit. But Rusty joining us today. How are you, Rusty?
What up, fellas? Glad y'all have me. Thank you.
Well, we're glad to be here. Who are you, Rusty? Tell us who you are. Tell the people out in Pationia. Who is Rusty?
I am Rusty Curry. I live right down the street from Big T. And
no, look, you got to give your mother's maiden name, your address.
and in Gary's backyard. And believe it or not, me and Jamie are kind of brothers.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a weird situation there.
If you're from the patio, we're all brothers and sisters of the patio.
Yes. There we go.
You sound like Ben Hinn over here.
Y'all call me Van Vader. Now I'm Benny Hinn. So, that's how you get followers.
Like
cult.
Jim Jones.
We're going to turn this to
Jim
cult.
Jones.
It's the cult of personality. We are the cult of the patio.
Did T make y'all's Kool-Aid? I just want to know if I drink mine.
Yeah, I just make everybody's Kool-Aid, Fortenberry. But Fortenberry, the important question of the night, how are you doing?
Man, once again, I'm fighting a cough. You know, I've been ill, I guess, forever.
I don't even want to tell you what I thought you said, but you're fighting it.
Fighting the
Yeah.
Isn't that an alcoholic beverage?
It is. It is.
Yes.
That old fighting cock.
Yeah.
And Gary, how are you, Gary?
Howdy ho, Winslow. I'm here. What y'all doing?
Yeah, look,
We're throwback machine.
That throwback.
We're recording this on a Saturday night, so I think people are feeling kind of good. We Rusty and I went on a bourbon hunting excursion today.
Is it like an Easter egg hunt?
But better.
Yes.
Because you get bourbon at the end of not those stinking rotten Easter eggs. So first stop we made, we're getting ready to check out. They didn't have the hard stuff to find. And Marty is with us, asked the guy behind the counter, said, "You don't by any chance have any Eagle Rare?" And the guy looked down, didn't he, Rusty? He looked down and he said, "There's a box in the back." And he called somebody on the radio, I guess, said, "That Eagle Rare box, is anything in it?" And then the dude said, "Yeah, there's a bottle in it." He brings out a bottle of Eagle Rare. For those of you that are not bourbon connoisseurs, Eagle Rare is what it says it is. It's rare.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bourbon, 10-year bourbon. It's a 10-year bourbon made by Buffalo Trace distilleries. And it's hard to find these days. It doesn't last very long. And to find that on a Saturday, I feel like, hey, winning.
It's a dub.
It's a dub. It's a dub for us. So I got a lot to talk about today, folks. But first off, what in the hell is going on at 40,000 feet above the United States? In what world does it make sense that we have allowed that? We've dubbed this the Chinese spy satellite, and we've continued to let this thing now float from Montana, across the Canadian border into Montana, all the way across the United States, through North Carolina, off the coast of North Carolina, where we then decided to shoot it down.
Has this administration demasculated America?
Demasculated? Well, of course they have. We've and look, we get into this topic every time, but the whole culture is trying to demasculate America. It's toxic to be a man, especially if you're a white man. It's a bad thing to continue to be the gender that you're born with. Apparently that's looked at poorly, at least in some parts of the country. But, yeah, I think that's fair to say demasculinize. Is that a word, demasculinize?
It's a new woke America, right?
It is. It's woke America.
It's new woke America. But what do you think China thinks about this? They're laughing at us.
They're laughing at They are.
Yeah.
They're laughing at us because you know what? There's a second balloon now. Mm-hmm. There's a second balloon.
That's down south, is it not?
South America. There's a second balloon, right? Isn't it across South America?
Hold on. Are we sure this isn't a gender reveal gone wrong? They're like, we messed up with the first balloon. Let's get another one out there.
Fortenberry, what was that you read on Reddit? last night.
It could possibly be a balloon spreading COVID.
Oh
Or
man,
a version
strain.
thereof. It could
Yeah,
be
it could
a
be
new
came back
strand
from
of
Wahoo.
COVID. Wahoo.
Wahoo.
the Wahoo.
Wahoo. Is that in Australia or is that in
That
Alaska?
sounds like a Hawaii.
A Wahoo.
Wuhan.
So is that's instead of the China virus, it'll be the Hawaii virus.
Hawaii virus.
Hawaii virus.
Look, all I can picture is Biden sitting in his office watching Coco Melon. And he sees this balloon come across on the news, and he just starts slapping his hands. He giggling.
He says, "Hey JJ, look at that."
And Kamal has to jiggle keys to get his attention.
Yeah. So there's more to this though, because according to certain news outlets, Biden new China spy balloon was in the U.S. airspace for nearly a week, but kept it secret, fearing that the Secretary of State Blinken's planned meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping, Winnie the Pooh, as you would call him. Jamie's not on his mark tonight because he's not feeling well. I think it's the cold medication got him
I've been medicated.
Yeah. But it would be derailed. And, of course, it was. So I don't know why that meeting was so important that he would. So here we go. We're going to send our Secretary of State to China to meet with Winnie the Pooh. I got a story about Winnie the Pooh. I got to tell you. It's kind of disturbing. But he's going to meet with him. And so all of a sudden magically appears across the northern part of the United States is this stinking balloon.
How does it get all the way from? How does it go through Canada's airspace?
How did Canada not pick that up?
I think they knew.
I mean, because there can't be that much shit flying in Canada.
Yeah.
And I realize they're saying it was above 60,000 feet, which is way up there.
And they're against all guns, so sure they're against balloons.
Yeah, actually, maybe they're starting to improve their stance. So, guys.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Keep in mind,
No,
this is
the
Saturday.
path of this, it flew basically right over us.
I'm sure it did, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's what they're doing. China's spying on us.
That's why we couldn't find any more bourbon today, Rusty.
too
No
many.
Blantons.
The freaking Chinese.
Too many Winnie the Pooh
Evil
jokes.
Chinese.
Listen, I don't know if people realize this. The strategic area we're in, Memphis has two bridges that connect the east and west.
Yep.
Busiest
There-
interstate.
There's two? I'm sure there's more than two other bridges, but you got Lula, Mississippi, St. Louis, Crothersville.
Yeah.
That's three, but there's not a whole lot of bridges.
Well,
that
I-40 is very busy.
And then you got Arkansas, who has what a nuclear site, multiple.
Yeah, so this
missile
balloon came across where we keep all of our missiles.
Yeah,
right?
and hovered over
Intercontinental
Montana. Yeah,
ballistic
And
missile.
our silos and what for our nuclear stuff and whatnot.
Sure. And here we have what when it comes to the State Department, our president is looked at very weak throughout the globally is looked at, I would say, very, very weak. He's not willing to stand up and make a stand.
Well, do you think it's because he may have made a lot of backroom deals with China prior to this?
yes.
See, hold on.
Hold on.
You.
That's the only way I would see he's trying to cover this up. Okay.
So you're not suggesting that Hunter Biden, well, I thought I turned that off, that Hunter Biden made backroom deals with the Chinese?
I don't think Hunter Biden's a real person. I think he's just an idea.
Well,
There's photographs of him
did you see where
and videos.
I think
Smoking crack.
Texas has pushed a law through or bill through where they cannot sell any land to any entity associated with China.
Well, yeah, I saw them. I didn't see them pushing that through, but not too long ago.
Or it's proposed something along those lines.
Not too long ago, they were about to sell some land about 20 miles away from an Air Force base or something like that to China.
Dude,
No, that was in Montana.
Arkansas
In Montana, they did sell to China, and they were supporting the Chinese to build a wet mill, I think maybe for corn or wheat or something.
Yeah, in Arkansas, Asa Hutchinson has went out and pimped Arkansas land out. We sold a bunch of land to China.
Asa did that?
Yep.
Well,
That was about 2 years ago.
For rice production or what?
Maybe.
Oh, Jesus.
So what do we do about this?
I don't know. We should have shot down.
Get our pitchforks.
So we haven't talked about it, but they just shot the balloon down, right?
They did.
Over the Atlantic. So therefore, it was in Montana, and they shot it over the Atlantic.
That made it pretty fast now.
That balloon was
Yeah,
moving.
this thing had the capability to be operated.
Maneuvered?
Yeah.
Well, the thing I saw today said it did not have very much maneuverability.
Yeah, not much maneuverability and zero maneuverability are a lot different because they controlled where it went.
So the Chinese, so we've all heard, and we've talked about briefly, the Chinese spending lots of money to buy farmland. Mm-hmm. They're spending money to do all these other things. Did you hear that the Chinese have taken over 2 military academies in the U.S.?
What?
This is considered alarming as the future Army cadets trained in the CCP-influenced military schools could have a soft side for China's strategies and aims. And I would assume that the record, if a military academy is teaching people how to think, they're teaching people how to be strategic. Yep. If you go to battle, how to position your troops, how to take advantage of certain situations. You know, we take for granted that people just go fight, but it's very strategic. Yeah. It's not like it was during the Civil War or during the Revolutionary War where you lined up and you took turns shooting.
They were strategic in the Civil War, though.
They were much more than the Revolutionary War.
In fairness, we was using a book written in China, though. The Art of War.
The Art of War. And so they wrote the book.
They technically wrote the book on war.
They did.
But yes, the Chinese have purchased 2 military academies for $16 million.
That's a steal.
That sounds cheap.
And the thing, check this out. It was actually a bidding war between 2 Chinese conglomerates to buy the military academy.
Oh, my gosh.
Which 2?
What do you think? Let's see here. Let's see if it says. So in 2017, a Chinese education conglomerate purchased the Florida Preparatory Academy to create a global education alliance system. Both of these military academies, Junior Reserve Officers Training, Junior ROTC, train military officers for the U.S. Army. Guys, this is freaking treason. Now, is treason even the right word? Infiltration?
You're allowing them to do it, so therefore, yeah. How is it not?
Look, Fortenberry's a conspiracy theorist. We actually have a text group that is called Team Apocalypse because of the coming apocalypse. I believe World War III is not that far off.
Do you think this is part of the New World Order? That
Look,
infiltration?
I suggest everyone go home, watch the original Red Dawn, then watch the second Red Dawn, then rub one thinking about both of them.
Hold on. The second Red Dawn was
Wolverines!
Let's be real here. The second
Red Dawn was good, dude.
The second Red Dawn was good.
It was.
Yeah.
What? Compared to the first?
What? No, but it was good.
It was good.
Standalone. It was a standalone film. It was good. It wasn't a part 2.
I mean, it didn't have like Patrick Swayze, but it had Josh.
Had Thor in it.
Had Thor and Josh. Yeah.
It's terrible.
Well, it was Drake and Josh.
I
right?
thought it was good.
By comparison. The first was America Rah Rah.
Yes.
The first was young Americans fighting for the country.
So what was the second one?
America.
It was a woke version of America fighting for the country.
They both said Wolverines, though.
They did.
Wolverines.
I don't know. I'm not crazy.
There's an Australian film called War Happens Tomorrow or something like that. Mm-hmm. That is real similar. It's really good.
They go, dingoes.
They got dingoes and our babies.
Dingoes ate my baby.
I had to tell my family the story about that. They thought,
about dingoes eating your baby?
Dingoes eat babies.
It's an awful story, but
dingoes will.
I'm glad you finally had that baby.
Well,
it's an awful story.
Look, whatever becomes of this, I think China, along with Russia, along with probably even India, they're going to continue to push our buttons. They're going to continue to test us.
Well, we're not going to do anything.
Either they're going to attack before the next presidential election, or they're going to wait until the next presidential election to see what happens.
Hey, guys, so if there's a war, right, the president does have the option of not getting out of the presidency. Mm-hmm. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know that. But
okay.
Hold on.
I don't think it's an option.
I'm just saying.
This is interesting.
It's an option.
Okay, but Gary brings up an interesting point, and I haven't thought about this yet. Mm-hmm. Because, the FBI raided another home. They're now going to go through Pence's home. I've voiced my thought that this is a way to get Biden out of office. So if he and the people he's really in the pocket of, being China, being the Ukraine, being Russia, mm-hmm. if they don't want to see him leave office, what would they do?
Start a war.
Start a war. They've already threatened to do something to the UK. Right? They're going to, was it a tidal wave of terror that would blast the UK?
Yep. I saw that.
500
and you know what?
Tall.
Queen Lizardbeth wouldn't stand for that.
Quit talking about Jamie's crush. Jamie's still sad about that. He may be sad for another 6 or 8 months.
I'll pull one out for my homie.
For your homie Queen Elizabeth. All right, so we're going to move on from this, but this is going to be a major topic.
I want to get into something though, just briefly off of that.
Yep.
You bring up India and all these other countries. I think the on the world stage you look at Russia, China, India, potentially Pakistan, Belarus, North Korea.
Now I heard a story the other day about North Korea. So the way the story went, North Korea. This guy continues to fire these missiles, or that go into the China Sea.
You realize how little has been discussed about North Korea in the last 2 years?
Yeah, and that's where I'm headed. They said that the reason he continues to do this is he's concerned that China is going to come in and take over North Korea, and that by him continuing to be at the forefront and to act crazy, it's keeping China at bay. And as long as he continues to appear to be shooting toward America or shooting over South Korea, that it's keeping China from just really coming in and clearing him out.
If you're the United States, do you sit on the sidelines in neutrality? Do you support North Korea or do you support China?
Well, on the national stage right now, China's an ally.
Yes, but the risk you run is
who would make all the toys?
North Korea is clearly not an ally.
No, North Korea is not an ally. But if they take North Korea, what stops them from taking South Korea?
The U.S. is all. Taiwan, that whole region, and I don't personally believe we should be in Ukraine.
I don't either, but I did hear this put a certain way that really maybe second guess my original opinion. I still don't think we should be there. But the fear is, if he takes Ukraine, and then his next step is to take Poland,
which will,
there's no option but for NATO to get in.
Yeah.
Once NATO's involved, there is 0% chance that Russia can win.
Hasn't Germany sent tanks?
Yeah,
to the border.
Germany just recently sort of spoke up and sort of took.
Once NATO, if NATO enters the field, Russia's only option is go nuclear.
There was someone predicting that there would be a nuclear explosion issue.
Nuclear
explosion. All right, let's move on to something else here. This is, I found, absolutely crazy. All the talk that we have here in the U.S., all the gun violence that's taking place. Canada dropped their ban on assault-style weapons. Amid debate over new gun regulations. Bill C-21 isn't about targeting hunters. It's about certain guns that are too dangerous in other contexts, said Public Safety Minister. The Canadian government has opted not to move forward with an amendment that would have classified a significant number of guns as prohibited. Boy, Canada just keeps throwing curveballs.
They do. They're a little weird.
They're odd people.
They are odd.
They got flabby heads, according to South Park.
You're not my buddy, guy.
Terrence,
you're not my buddy, friend.
You're not my guy, friend.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that, see how that goes as well.
Well, so they banned AR-15. Oh, they released.
No, they released. So they had a bill that would ban, and this is so Canadian, but let me read this.
But it still doesn't matter since you can't go freely buy weapons, though, right?
No, you really can't.
So, I mean, it's a moot point.
So it's kind of a moot point. You're right. Let's talk about Joe Biden a little bit more. And we're going to delve into something that I'm told we talk about way too much, but I can't help it.
Here we go.
Biden administration says that Instagram is dangerous for young girls. So, last week it was the Surgeon General came out saying that children under the age of 13 should not be on social media. He says Instagram is dangerous for young girls, but puberty blockers are okay.
Well, hold up. Let's hear them out.
I'm sorry, Don.
What is there to hear?
What is there to hear?
I mean, a cell phone. I mean, the sky is blue is dangerous to teenage girls because you never know where they're going. But either way,
look, we are going to allow children. And I say we. There's people raising kids right now that are allowing children to make their own decisions. And that's not being a parent.
And it's not being a parent.
But isn't that part of consent? We're talking about
consent. My kid don't have consent to shit.
No. This is where I'm headed, though. The left agenda.
Poor Maddie.
Everything here, is headed toward minors being able to vote earlier. They're able to make other decisions. And then, we're going to delve off into this, unfortunately, and I was trying to avoid it. But with what went on with Epstein, what went on with Joe Biden sniffing hair and some of those things, there's this obsession with these ultra elites and young children in a sexual term.
Where is this MAPS heading? I had to use maps.
It's a map. It's a map.
Well, but I don't think that it heads anywhere. I think that ultimately it could actually result in some form of uprising.
Look, I for one think this country needs a good uprising.
It needs a good uprising?
Yeah.
So sometimes you just got to stand off YouTube.
We got to stand for something.
Sometimes you have to clean house. And if that means we're the dirty laundry, then so be it. But sometimes
it depends who you're asking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, if we're what's holding America back and they got to shuck us off, so be it. But something needs to happen.
Yeah. So I got a question for you guys. Let's go by just yay or nay, and I'll start with Fortenberry. Fortenberry, did you enjoy wearing a mask? Did you even wear a mask when we were needed to wear a mask?
At work, I was required to.
But outside of work, you didn't like wearing them?
Hell, I didn't wear them.
You didn't wear them. What about you, Scoffer? Scoffer, you a mask wearer? You habitual line stepper?
I am. I would put the mask on, but I would physically pull it below my nose so that way I could breathe. Because I know that wearing that mask was constantly like that will cause respiratory issues.
I started taking anxiety medicine when I was during the COVID.
How about you, Rusty? Rusty, you were not a mask wearer unless you just had to, like Rusty.
If it was required, I would wear one. Like at the hospitals, place like that, if they required, I would put it on just put it on and then take it off whenever you walk out. I mean,
conformist.
So there's still people that are trying to force folks to wear masks. So a new study. This is awesome. People perceived as less attractive are more likely to continue wearing masks and trying to force others to wear masks.
That's why I never wore a mask. Look at this pretty face.
Nobody can see your face. You might as well be masked now, old beardo.
But the unseen issues that this has caused after the fact. There's a lot of kids now growing up that are having issues with speaking and stuff like that because they don't, and they're also not able to, keep up with what people were saying or people's facial expressions. They don't understand those things because they missed a year or two of,
Let me read this article.
I'm curious, how many people, and I'm sure there's a number, I wonder how many people have had relations in America with masks on.
Oh my gosh.
And probably no condom.
How many pornos were made?
I can see it. I can see it placed there.
Now,
look, we're not doing this unless you have a mask on.
You got to protect yourself.
So let me read some stuff from this study. So in the journal Frontiers in Psychology, researchers published findings suggesting that self-perceived attractiveness has a significant effect on decisions to continue masking. They also found that for some, mask wearing has shifted from being a self-protection measure during the pandemic to being a self-presentation tactic. Now that the pandemic is over, self-perceived attractiveness is defined as individuals' self-concept or beliefs about their physical appearance. Wow.
So are they more attractive if they got masks on or less?
No,
attractive?
They're saying that people that deem themselves. So when they look in the mirror, they say, "I'm less attractive." They want to continue wearing masks. So maybe that's why all of our ugly politicians that are trying to make decisions, like Fauci, that's one ugly rascal.
Like a rat.
Like a little rat. That's why he wants to mask everybody so they can't see really how ugly he is. I guess if you got pretty eyes and ugly mouth.
Look at Nancy Pelosi.
She's like an ugly ass poodle.
I don't know. Nancy Pelosi is probably the hottest, oldest politician I've ever seen.
Oh, there's another story we got to talk about that I forgot.
Smoking Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, smoking Nancy Pelosi. She's look, she's like 95. Okay, give her some leeway. Okay, give her some slack. Okay.
All right, y'all brought up Congress. Let's talk about Congress. Did y'all see what happened earlier this week when the Kevin McCarthy, the Speaker of the House, made a change in appointment for one of the Congress ladies, Iman?
I can't make sure I get it right. Iman married my husband, or married my brother.
Ilhan Omar.
Ilhan married a brother.
It is Ilhan. You're right. Ilhan. Omar. She was removed from the what's it called? Foreign Affairs Committee.
Yes.
And all hell broke loose. Is there any other way of putting that?
Dude, did you see AOC on the floor? Just acted an idiot.
Yeah, and she said that her life was threatened and that it's all because of their women of color. Women of color. But Ilhan, I married my brother Oman, as Jamie put it. Just make sure I get you credit for.
Yeah, she married a brother.
Salami and bacon.
She made a statement tearful statement about being removed that I can't find it, but it was something to the extent of I was elected to protect our people around the world and
no, you weren't.
To represent them and
Nope.
to ensure that they were properly represented. She was voted to represent a small congressional district in Minnesota, right?
Yes.
Yep. In Minnesota.
In Minnesota. And then AOC took the stage to grandstand about that this all being about the Republicans' continued attack on women of color.
Oh, googly eyes, huh?
Got to use the talking points. So women of color. So by that she means colored people.
Yes.
Because apparently it's the exact same thing.
Yes.
I hate saying people of color.
Well, that's
Women of color.
I grew up saying where it's impolite to call somebody a colored person.
Again, why we gotta have color? Why can't we all be colorblind?
I like
Everybody's
colored
American.
pencils.
I do like colored pencils. They're better than crayons.
You know,
Because you eat crayons.
people who bring
Pencils of color.
I just don't like people bring. Why is it gotta be about color if someone's not good at their job?
Anytime you're defined by your sexuality or your race or your gender, you've really failed.
Look,
Yes.
so-
What's the most important thing to you, Gary? How would you describe yourself? What's the first thing that comes to your?
I'm a good person.
I would say
I'm kind.
I would say father. If you I'm a father, then I would move on from there. I wouldn't say
Okay, that's a good point. So, Rusty, what would you say if someone said, "Who is Rusty?" Because I'm gonna ask you that. In a minute.
Very hard-headed.
Okay,
that's fine.
I am.
Okay,
I am.
but your color doesn't.
your color,
No,
your
I'm
color,
very
your gender,
hard-headed.
your sexuality is not. That'd be one of the last things I listed. Terry,
I really don't care about my color.
the first thing that comes to your mind when you describe yourself.
Man, I'm confident.
There you go.
I'm intelligent.
Big Van Vader.
I think I'm smart.
Vader.
I think
It's
I'm
Vader
funny.
time.
I think I'm funny. I like people. I'm.
What was Vader's finishing move? I don't.
The Vader
He would
time.
he would
Splash,
climb
wouldn't
up on top rope and
Vader
put his
splash, yeah.
belly
Moonsault.
up on you.
Moonsault.
Y'all keep
did
jacking me.
moonsault.
I'm gonna attack Gary with my belly. My belly's gonna attack Gary.
Listen, we need to get a Vader costume and let you come dress as
Yes.
Vader for one of the
For
podcasts.
a whole episode. Let's
The
do
whole
it.
episode dressed as
Be awesome.
Look,
Mask.
when we hit 10,000,
Jamie can be the Iron Sheik.
we're gonna come out as classic WWE.
Gary can be Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
So look, if you hadn't been
Donnie was
watching,
Mr. Perfect.
There you go.
if you haven't been watching our YouTube videos, you need to, because when we hit 10,000 downloads on the podcast, which we're not far from, we're probably like 7,000 right now, close to it.
Give us 2 months. Let's go.
I hope it's faster than 2
Yeah.
months at our growth
I say-
rate that we've been doing.
Within 2 months.
So look, all of you Crittenden County folks or folks listening in Alabama, shout out to Troy Kozlowski.
I think that's right. Yeah.
That's right. So Troy, and we got DW. So DW is not just at volleyball. He's on a mission in Georgia, anywhere between Memphis, Tennessee, and Georgia. Hopefully you see these stickers.
Spread the good word.
Life from the Patio stickers. All of them hold those up. And there's a QR code. If you hit the QR code, it takes you to our website. But look, I need you to do this right now. Just stop. Hit pause. Back out. Go hit the like button. Subscribe. When you get done with podcast, I need you to go down there and you can just say, I hate these guys. I love these guys. Give it 5 stars. Google Podcasts. You can do it on Apple Podcasts. You can do it Spotify. Any of those places.
I say this all the time. I don't care if you put us on mute. Just put us on
Spit us on.
I watch you guys every morning.
every morning. Look,
Every morning.
On the way to work while
That's
you're
right.
driving.
Don't hate on him.
How safe.
I do.
I love it.
We're all about safety in the patio.
I would say this. Let's take a minute. Some of the people that have been really good listeners. Obviously,
Yeah, let's do that. Do a shout out.
Wes Fortenberry, Charlie Fortenberry, my brother, sister-in-law,
Greg
Troy,
and Kim Chaffin, Troy
the
Kozlowski,
Whitney.
Whitney,
Rusty over here.
my wife Ginger, Rusty over here. But you know what? I found out last night Autumn's never listened to a single one.
Uncle Daryl ain't
trying.
monkey. I forgot
I'm working
about
on it.
Uncle Daryl.
I'm working on
Uncle
all of
Daryl,
them.
Aunt Monkey. Let me see. I know I'm missing somebody. Jessica.
How does she get the name
Jessica
Aunt Monkey?
Jessica Young.
Oh, you didn't listen.
You
Oh, hold
didn't
on, hold
listen
on.
to-
You're
hold
not
on,
a
you-
listener.
I didn't
You're
listen to
not a
that
listener.
one.
You're going to have to go back.
You have to go back and look.
You're going to
and
have to
find
go
it.
back.
That's
yeah,
fine, Aunt
because
Monkey.
there is a story
Yeah.
about
There's-
Aunt Monkey, and it's a terrible story.
Jessica
It's a terrible
Young
story.
and-
It's
and-
not very good, but yeah, Jessica Young
with
and
Delta Evolutions.
Delta Evolutions.
I know we're missing other people. Uncle Sassy, you know who you are.
Sure.
That's Katie.
Okay.
That's Katie's brother. Uncle Sassy.
Oh, Uncle Sassy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a story behind it. But his nephew called him Sassy. So I give a shit about it all the time.
All right. Hold on. I got some old stuff here. There's some sports stories. We're not good at sports stories, but I think we can talk about this one some.
Because, this is a little different.
Yeah. So people want to win, do whatever it takes to win. You know, that's kind of the mantra. Unless you're in the military, you'll do anything you can as long as you don't hurt somebody's feelings.
I mean, like, even if you're like a high school softball coach, you might do anything it takes to win.
That's
or a junior high.
We especially
coach,
locally.
Right? We probably need to do an update on that if we can find anything new. But
is there an update?
Shout out to Meredith Hill if you're listening. I know
she has an ankle bracelet on.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know that's the new in thing right now. It's ankle bracelet.
Yeah, Meredith, if you would like to come in and do an interview.
Please subscribe and like.
Did you know that here recently there's a nurse in Arkansas that also just got caught doing something like that?
A nurse? No.
Yes, a nurse.
Did you see the teacher and police officer who were doing like got sentenced to 100 years in jail 100 years in prison?
What were they doing?
I don't know. You might have to edit this. I have no idea. So,
well, look, but you talk about
she made cupcakes for the class. Put his semen in it.
I did hear
no,
about this.
I
what
didn't
the
hear this.
hell?
Where was this at?
Arizona?
I don't know.
Look, if it's not Arizona, I apologize.
But it was something
What
very
was the
strange.
purpose of this?
Like California.
It was like
know.
I think it's a BDSM thing. I think the guy was like a dominant, in a real dominant position. But
how did someone not show up at his house and just end him, end his ideas?
God, I don't know.
Because no, that would be American. Because we're Chinese.
We're Chinese.
And then
it's just over 100 years.
You know the young lady in Middle Tennessee that she had been fooling around with her
Other cops.
You know, there's been people that's been coming over there wanting her to sign.
You talking the girl
She's famous.
on the WAP team?
Yeah, that's it. There was an interesting story I had about her. They had gone through and released the interview process that they had done with her and the other police, and it was very entertaining, I got to say. But people are treating her like a star. If this young lady
porn star
doesn't already have, I'm sure she got offers for porn, porn movies.
Oh, yeah. She's going to make money off this.
She has to make money off it.
At least the OnlyFans.
They say the
See, there you go. You said the bad word. That's the other word.
We get in trouble for it.
We talk about it too much. But let's get back to the other topic here. So a 22-year-old basketball coach was fired after posing as 13-year-old girl during a game. An assistant coach has been fired while she said the one player was out of town for another tournament. She decided to step in. She can be seen high-fiving her teammates in the clip after making multiple plays during a game on January 21st. The parents
dominating
of the 13-year-old girl, Boykins, was said to be impersonating, informed Wavy that their daughter was participating in a separate tournament.
Good for them.
Hold on. Did we ask this coach if she identifies as a 13-year-old?
So
we didn't ask that question.
This is a very good point, right?
Because
we let boys identify as girls playing the sport. I guess if it's a man, I guess if he was a 22-year-old man
and he
who said, I identify as a 13-year-old girl, we would allow him to play 7th grade basketball.
You should be able to allow him to play. Why not? There's no standards.
Jamie, you're thinking way too much about this.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm like, I know physically I can't make it with a high school team anymore, but I think I still got a little eligibility left.
Jamie, I feel like you stay on one end of the court the entire time.
I play
you dominate.
You could be You could like 7th grade girls basketball. You could probably be full-time defense because they're going to run at you.
Man, I would send their shit.
Get that out of here.
Yeah,
and you would like be celebrating when you would celebrate.
I'd be out of breath every time, but
you'd be running down high-five the stands.
Yeah.
You'd be so excited.
I'd be over there, shin splits hurting everything.
But look, you wouldn't let it show, would you? Because you're a true competitor.
I'm a true competitor.
You're a true competitor. You said.
You didn't know.
But what in the world? If this isn't the sign of the end of times,
I mean, how bad do you have to be losing and say, "Hey, I'm going in, guys," and you're the coach? You know?
How bad do you want to win?
I mean,
I look. My son tells me all the time, "It's as long as I try hard, Daddy," and I don't believe in that. I believe in it ain't just trying hard. Everybody tries hard, not everybody, but most people try hard.
Not a lot of people try hard.
But I mean, you got to be successful too. But that being said, winning's not that important.
Not that important.
It's not that important. Not for a win.
No. Because what do you teach all the other kids around you?
Now, if she was trying to get to the league, this is a whole different story, you know.
Yeah, you know,
she needs to be scouted.
The WNBA league?
Yes.
Yes, because hundreds of fans need to see her play.
And yes, exactly.
And Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
And Jamie can out-jump her, so.
I probably can.
Well, we still got to finish that. We got to do that.
Did we ever? She went in for this girl at this game, right? Did they win the game? I didn't
well,
see
if they
that
lost,
part.
that'd be worse.
I would hope they won.
I don't know. I had changed.
That's very sad of
Yeah,
me.
I've been even sad. I'm like, okay, and I heard that they had they decided to forfeit the rest of their season because
they will not play any more games.
What? Why are you punishing the girls? This ain't the girls' fault unless this is their idea, I guess.
Well, everybody involved in that program knew what was happening.
Yeah, but
Had to.
They had to.
Yeah, but absolutely they had to. They had to know, hey, that's not a 13-year-old kid.
Yeah. I would think so too. Yeah, but the kids are still getting punished because of this.
Well, the kids were fully aware of what was going on.
Gary, I cannot find.
They knew she wasn't on their team. They knew she wasn't on their team.
Yeah, when she said, just say I go put my boat to sleep.
I think that's the most important part of the story. Who won the game?
I can't find it. Apparently, they're keeping it secret. They had to forfeit, so they lost.
Yeah, they did lose.
They shadow banned this game.
I think we were shadow banned.
That's why we can't find out who won.
I think we would lose with Gary in a shadow.
I gotta tell you what, if I went into a junior high basketball game, my team winning.
Although, look, I do remember Earl Baptist. We went to
EBTV.
Oh no, yeah,
Love EBTV.
Where was it at? It's somewhere in
Where is it at? I'll tell you where it's at.
EBTV.
Shit, no.
Pathway.
No, it's the one up in
Southern Missouri.
Yeah, just a second. By Lula, Mississippi.
Rossville?
No. It's in Arkansas. Where's the casino in Arkansas?
You said Mississippi.
I know it's in Lula, Mississippi, but
You're talking about Arkansas and Mississippi? What?
where's the other casino besides Tunica? There's another one.
Biloxi?
Helena?
Biloxi.
Yeah, Helena. Where was that? Helena. Whatever school that was.
Helena? Tunica Academy.
No.
Delta?
I don't remember playing anybody in Helena.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Phillips
we did.
County. Phillips County.
We did play Phillips County.
I didn't go to the last
We
game.
dominated Phillips County.
The only people that played this entire game was me and Gary was gone, Rusty was gone, Big B was gone, Pat
Because our
Nash
uncle
was
had
gone.
died.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get it.
I had another basketball game.
Barry went to a dance.
I thought our uncle had died at that.
Barry,
one.
look,
Barry
he
went
was
to a
taking
dance.
advantage of having all fit toes and foot back in the day.
So we went to the game, and the only starters that were there was me and Donnie White. And we would get in the game, or we'd set the bench, and we'd get down by like 20.
Get down by 20.
Carter would put us in, we'd go up by like 10.
And they take it
He'd
back
pull
out.
us out.
Why was he pulling you out?
Just because he didn't want us to play us. I mean, the intention was let some of the scrubs play like
Well,
Rusty and them.
you also have to put this in context. The reason
Did you get that slight, Rusty? He said, "Let's go play like Rusty."
I wasn't there.
Like Rusty.
No, Rusty wasn't there.
Rusty wasn't there. I wasn't there. It was like a 3-hour
The
away
scrubs weren't
game.
there.
If all the starters were there, we'd have played like 2 minutes. We'd been up 20-0 after 2 minutes. That's how bad this team was.
We got so big at one point. I looked at Donnie and said, "How about throw this basketball through the stained glass window?" I said, "How about throw this thing through the?" And Donnie's like, "Don't do it. Don't do
All
it."
right, I've got one more serious topic, and then we're probably gonna wrap this
That was
up.
serious.
I think EBTV is serious.
Yeah,
EBT.
yeah, we actually talk about them some, but this one's really almost disturbing, and it circles us back to the topic we tend to get to a lot. But I've got to go there. So, excuse me.
Thought that was me.
No, you thought that was you. PragerU's Aldo Butizzani, that's a reporter for
That's a
PragerU.
mouthful.
He detailed YouTube's promotion of LGBTQ plus content for children in a Tuesday Twitter feed. So apparently this guy signed up for YouTube Kids. The streaming service allows parents or guardians to create profiles for children curated with age-appropriate content experiences.
Yep.
Content experiences available for children in 3 tiers: preschool, aimed at children 4 and younger. This is then younger, appropriate for 5 to 8 year olds, and older for children 9 to 12. So children's profiles are tethered to the parent's YouTube account, granting the adult moderation over content. Said he made an account, and what he found was disgusting. He said YouTube Kids is grooming children with LGBTQ propaganda. YouTube reportedly recommends a Hi-Ho Kids video titled "Kids Meet a Gender Nonconforming Person." It's one of the first ones they give them. Hi-Ho Kids video is part of the channel's Kids Meet series, depicting children talking with people of specific professions, including worm farmers, flight attendants, transgender athletes, and dating coaches. The content tier also promotes gender and identity-themed videos from accounts include one channel named Queer Kids Stuffed, hosted by Lindsay
That's
Kramer.
ridiculous.
Other promoted content includes videos featuring drag performer Nina West, who's infamously featured in 2021 Blue's Clues episode, along with child drag performer Desmond Napoles. The end is near.
God, I hope so.
We're targeting our kids.
Why are we worried about people's sexuality at 4 or 5 years old?
I'm gonna tell you
why.
I'm gonna tell you what. We hit on this earlier. The demasculinization of our children, it's multifold. Let me back up. Okay, first, it's all tied. When you start to put it all together, it's all tied together. So there's a population problem, right? And now what we're hearing now is there are too many people on the earth, right? The left especially says that there's too many people on the earth.
Yep.
So the left is aborting babies at a much higher rate than the right? So that's eliminating those people. They are starting to neuter their children. They're changing the sex of their kids. They're neutering their children, so they're not reproducing at a much higher rate. They're neutering is not right to right, where they're sterilizing their children.
Yeah, won't let them go through puberty.
Yeah, and so by exposing all these other kids to this same thing, it's a way of controlling the population. It's a way of controlling the narrative, because most parents are like, let me give my kid my iPad, I'm putting it on YouTube Kids because it's safe.
Yep.
I'm putting it on YouTube Kids because I can trust it.
We don't use YouTube Kids. I just give my kids YouTube and roll.
Well, you're probably better off.
Yeah,
because,
you probably are.
I mean, this is troubling. Because, odds are the first video that comes up is something that you approve of.
Yeah.
The second and third may be. But then what happens is when you're not paying attention, they're sneaking in these algorithms or sneaking in these videos to
rabbit hole.
Yeah. It puts it down a rabbit hole.
Yeah. So I've been in I got in a huge debate on TikTok the other day over and I've said this before with us, over fathers in homes.
Yeah, we know about how you feel about the Iranian home structure.
Yeah, yes. Well, I misspoke.
The nuclear family.
They're nuclear.
But
they are
our society is pushing that kids don't need fathers, and that is a scary scenario. Because
so there's a big difference in that kids can be successful without a father. Okay, but there's a big difference. A
woman cannot teach a boy to be a man.
I don't think it's impossible.
Yes, it's absolutely impossible.
I don't know. Are
you a man?
I think.
Can your wife teach your son to be a man? No.
No,
just like you couldn't teach a girl to be a woman.
But she could instill to him.
We're not talking values. We're talking but
man. Values are as important to establishing what a man is or a father. It is.
I'm with Jamie on
having
this
the proper value structure.
It's
part of it.
It's not really you teaching. It's just him following you, seeing what you're doing, and how you act in certain situations that a woman won't be in those situations.
They shouldn't be.
I mean, I don't think it's healthy for men to cry at every opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Women are emotional. Men are not, and we need to continue that. Does that sound bad? Maybe I'm misogynist. I think it's great for men to cry, but it needs to be at the proper time.
Yeah. It can't be in the middle of a situation.
Yes. We can't. Men can't be hysterical in the middle of a situation. I'm gonna tell you right now. When my daughter was in Orlando and they won their nationals, I cried like a baby because the joy and the pride I had in my child. That's okay. But what I don't need is I don't need my son growing up thinking it's okay to cry when he had a bad day at work.
A boy and a girl in the house also needs a father in the house to show them how they should be treated as a woman whenever they get older. Or a boy should treat a woman whenever they get older.
A woman's the first place she learns how a man should treat her is at home.
Yeah. That's where they learned it at.
I hope my daughter grows up and marries somebody. I mean, obviously better.
Who stays drunk and grows a beard,
but that treats her mother treats her like I treated her mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should strive for that.
We should all strive for that.
No, those kids watch. They watch when you guys argue. I mean, I'm sure you have public arguments.
Kids see everything.
They see everything.
They're like sponges.
But they don't see you dragging out and, hitting their mother.
No, we do all that behind closed doors.
You do that behind closed doors. That's what the nuclear family does.
My wife hits me behind closed doors.
My wife throws shoes at me behind closed doors.
Everyone needs
actually an addict.
I think Gary is actually the wife in his relationship.
But the point being is, we have allowed women to marry the state, for kids to be raised by the state. We've rewarded women who are single.
Yeah,
and we're reaping the benefits right now.
Well, who do you blame? That's the government's fault right there. The women
we're all to blame. We vote those people in.
We vote those people in, and they give them the option of okay, it's better for you not to go to work, and then just receive money from
the war
us.
on poverty. Everything America's has waged war on has failed. War on drugs, war on poverty.
Here's the problem.
War on Afghanistan.
Here's the problem. The government acts as like a business, and they're a terrible business because they don't get rated or get raises based on how they perform. They're a business. And they don't terrible business.
They should be reelected based on their performance.
Exactly.
But they're not. It's now populist. It's really an incumbent is very hard to remove from office.
Look at Nancy Pelosi. I know she's somewhat hot, but other than
that's why there should be term limits.
There needs to be term limits, but when the people that have to make that decision are the ones that would be impacted by the term limits, that typically doesn't happen.
It's not going to happen. It will never happen. These are kings and queens. Why would I want to give away my power?
Well, I mean, government typically does not remove power or relinquish power.
No, they will not relinquish. Once you give it to them, they have it.
So, another TikTok argument I had, kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Somebody was bitching about calling America a terrorist state, how we bombed. They list all the countries we bombed. But you know what? In 1939, Europe was begging us to join the war. Begging us. We stepped in. We became the world power, and now they're pissed off at the results. Typically, governments do not relinquish power, and we're a prime example of it.
Yep, they do not. Once you give them power,
you reap what you sow.
This goes back to this vaccine. I think this is all a test of how much power they can grab.
Well, they got a lot of it.
They sure did.
Yeah, so many people gave it to them.
Look, we've touched on a lot of stuff tonight. And we've been going for a while. We're almost pushing up on an hour to about 47 minutes. So I think it's time for some parting thoughts. Fortenberry, what's your parting thoughts for tonight?
Parting thoughts. I'll leave her name out of it. A young lady that we went to school with passed away recently.
Yeah, rest in peace.
She's younger than me. I mean, what was she? Maybe
she's in between me and you, so she's probably 38, 39.
Yeah, I mean, wow. Apparently had a seizure in her sleep. I don't hold me to that, but I mean, just remember,
she had 3 kids too.
Yeah, 3 kids. I mean, life's short. You never know.
Senior in high school is one of them.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Terrible.
Years.
It's terrible. Gary, what's your parting thoughts for tonight?
It's hard to follow that one up. That's sad. But please, all you gender reveal people, please pop all your balloons. We don't want to have them confused with any type of Chinese balloons.
Really? That's what you come with?
That's your part. Rusty,
I wish I thought
what you got to tell us this evening here?
I tell this my kids, treat everybody how you want to be treated. I mean, you want to be treated like shit, treat people like shit, but I mean, you want to be nice. Be nice to people. Love everybody.
Everybody love everybody. That's Jackie Moon for you.
Everybody love everybody. Look, for me, go hit the like button. We want you to like us. We love to be liked. We don't like to be not liked. Right?
I like people to comment.
People to comment. Give us good comments, bad comments. We don't care. Whatever comments. But look, it's thanks to Rusty. Rusty, thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah, we'll have you on again. You had a good point of view here. It's been a long week. We got another long week ahead of us. Let's do this.
Peace out.
Cause somebody done took from an outlaw. Take my picture down
Nanu.
courthouse wall. I'm living in the clouds and I ain't gon' fall. Somebody done saved this outlaw.
Yeah.
Hello.